Listen, I know I can piss a lot of people off. I'm sorry if my presence got some of you.
Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Hanging with the Chads. I am Chad Springer, joined as always by the greatest tag team partner and host we could ever imagine, Mr. Chad Boudreaux. Boudreaux, how the hell are you?
I'm great, man. How are you doing?
We're above ground and breathing. A lot's happened in the past 30 days. A lot of changes going on in your boy's life. As you see, I got a new background. I got carpet, so that can only mean one thing. I bought a house. So, in 1 week, I told you already, in 1 week, I got a new home, I got a new job, and I got a new car. So, all three things in life are new. And to be honest with you, I still haven't got a new car yet, but we're not going to talk about that.
You're starting to be an adult now. About time.
So, I noticed I didn't change the Marine Corps happy birthday intro, but, whatever. It's still the greatest fighting force known to man. And welcome back to another episode. It's been a minute. We're trying to do some new things. We're trying to have a little bit of fun. We got a great episode today for you, and we're going to talk about a lot of great things, especially college bowl season. We both have experience. You have much more than I do on our topic of hosting bowl teams. It seems like down there at the end of World Drive, you have a college team there once a week, because you got turf field and you're convenient to everything. So, without further ado, let's kick right on into it, ladies and gentlemen. We have some major NFL news that we have not discussed in a while. The playoffs are about to start heating up. There's teams that aren't in the playoffs for the first time ever, and there's teams that have some significant injuries, including last night. We've seen the Bears took out Jordan Love. They said, nah, you ain't playing in this game. And I think that was probably one of the best football games I've watched in a while. The Bears beat Green Bay. It's safe to say that Green Bay is no longer the owner of Chicago. Can you believe Chicago went from 4 or 5 wins last year? They're at 11 this year.
Yeah.
The Bears
are doing their thing up there, man. And I know that makes my boss happy. But, yeah, I mean, it came down you put your hands team out there, and the hands team is not handed and drops.
They got an onside kick. You know how hard it is to get that in the NFL?
That's what I'm saying. The hands team was not handed. And
they didn't practice that this week.
So, I mean, and then leaving the wide open on that last play, like it wasn't wide open, but you don't go man to man that late in the game.
There was a slip. There was a slip and a little miscommunication, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What I'm most mad about in this whole entire thing?
Is that the Saints beat Panthers?
I'm going to mute you for the rest of the show. No, what I'm mad about is the Bears wouldn't have all that crap if it wasn't for the Panthers.
Yeah, true. You're right.
Caleb Williams was Carolina Panthers' #1 pick.
Yep.
DJ Moore was Carolina Panthers wide receiver that we traded. So the Chicago Panthers, is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, they're gonna be a tough out. I mean, I don't who's gonna compete with them right now in the NFC. I mean, definitely coming from the South because nobody wants to win that. I mean, the Saints are the best team in the South right now, and
Falcons are going to end up winning the South. You know how mad I'm going to be.
The
Falcons are somehow going to pull it out,
right?
You know how mad I'm going to be. Oh my God!
So I mean, yeah, I mean, the Eagles are starting to feel their stride, so maybe them. But I mean, we can all cheer now that we don't have to listen about this is our year from them boys.
Yeah, thank God they're eliminated.
Yep.
Shout out to all you Cowboys fans. You got to go ahead and pack in your bags to Cancun, boys.
Yep. But then, who's in the West? I don't see anybody playing complimentary football right now.
Seattle and the Rams are too inconsistent, but that was a good game Thursday night.
The Bears are playing complimentary football. They do have a shot coming out of the NFC right now. That's how I see it.
It was told that this is probably going to be the Super Bowl team for the NFC, whoever wins this game. And to associate the Bears name with that, That's crazy, man. Like, that is absolutely crazy. And, speaking of them boys, my keeper in the Hanging with the Chads Fantasy Football League, which I'm in the semifinals right now. I had a first round bye. I'm the number 1 seed. It's going to be a tough week this week for me. I think I might end up getting eliminated because I'm playing a team that always somehow freaking beats me. But I'm going into battle for the first time in 5 years without Patrick Mahomes. That's going to be tough. Kansas City, they're going home for the first time in like 8 years.
Yep.
Or before Christmas, and now you can still say, because Patrick is hurt on injured reserve and all that. Every year he's a starter, he never ended his season before, the conference championship game.
I mean, we all saw this was going to happen eventually, right? Like, it's happened with the Patriots when they went through their dynasty run. I didn't think it would happen this soon, but you saw clips of it last year that it's starting to crumble. And
dude, they have no O-line.
No.
I think Cincinnati has a better O-line than Kansas City.
Look.
The reason Kansas City has a worse O-line is because they have no receivers.
I'll give you that, yeah.
Joe Burrow at least has receivers. Kansas City has no receivers, no number ones. They screwed up when they did not make a play at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
They did not trade for anybody at the trade deadline. They didn't do any of that. It's their fault. But Kansas City is a great organization. They're going to bounce back, and hopefully Patrick Mahomes comes back. They're going to have O-line help, I guarantee you, and they're going to have wide receivers this year.
That's what they're going to, because their defense is always still going to be their defense, right? Their defense is still tough. Plus, when you go to Arrowhead, it's going to be tough to play there anyway. They're going to have to, in this draft, they're going to have to go O-line, receiver, and they're going to have to look for somebody to take over for Kelsey, because Kelsey's not Kelsey of the old anymore.
Yeah, he's definitely
he's going to have to retire within the next 2 years.
Well, he ain't going to have to worry about anything when he retires.
No.
Mr. Taylor Swift over here. Hey, I'm willing to bet he takes her name. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, and they still have a good running back. Like, that's the thing, that their running backs are good. So it's going to have to be, they're going wide out, tight end, O-line. That's what their draft is going to have to be. Or they're going to end up the same place where they are right now, or they're going to just totally blow up the whole roster and rebuild it.
All right, let's look at the potential 2026 NFL free agents. Okay. All right, so there is a potential that Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, Deebo Samuel, obviously, Travis Kelce is going to stay. David Njoku. I'm just going through tight ends and wide receivers right now. Like, I don't see anybody. Hell, go get Taysom Hill. He's going to be a free agent. Stop being the Carolina Panther killer, for God's sakes. Kyle Pitts is going to be a free agent. Potential. Now, these are potential. Like, I'm just going
Mike Evans, though. Like, Mike Evans is great, but it's getting close for him to retire too. It's getting close to that time with him. Deebo, I think, would be a good pickup for them. But yeah, I mean, Kelsey's going to stay if he wants to, or he's just going to retire. I don't see the Saints getting rid of Taysom Hill. He's the only thing they have beside. Like, I'm granted they are on a run right now, but he's what makes that organization what it is. And I'm saying that as a Saints fan right now. Everybody down in New Orleans loves Taysom Hill.
Yeah, so, he's great. I like him. I mean, he was a Swiss Army knife in my fantasy league a couple of years ago.
And that's what he is.
We're looking at offensive tackles right now. You got Braden Smith from Indianapolis. I don't think he's going anywhere.
No.
Jonah Williams from Arizona potentially can leave. Cam Robinson, he potentially can leave. Trey Pipkins from the Chargers.
I don't think they get rid of him.
Yeah.
He's not going to want to go anywhere. He's not going to. Now, if Kansas City goes to woo him, maybe, because he's going to be able to have Mahomes behind him. But he wouldn't leave an organization that has a chance for another organization that's partially rebuilding.
And even looking at the guards, I mean, heck, you got Joel Patino, but he ain't leaving Cleveland. He's gonna pull the Alex Mack, or not Alex Mack, who was the center they had. Who is that guy? Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas. He's gonna be like Joe Thomas. He's gonna stay. But you got Wyatt Teller, who might be available. You might have someone like a Isaac Samuelo or Evan Neal. I mean, I wouldn't go after Evan Neal, but anything's better than Jawan Taylor, Mr. Holding penalty himself.
Right.
But, you know, at the end of the day, they're going to have to get some weapons. I would love to see Debo go there, but I think he's loving Washington right now. But, I mean, Debo going there is just like every other wide receiver they try to get, you know, the Marquise Browns, the DeAndre Hopkins they have. They thought there was going to be speed. They're going to have to go young, but they're going to have to go like the youngest free agent right now that I'm looking at is the Rams have Tutu Atwell, De'Ami Brown from the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, Jawan Jennings from the Niners, but, you know, hey, I want to see him go after Rashid Shaheed. You want speed? You go after that fella right there.
That man's got the speed.
Hey, that man helped. That man gave me 97 points in my fantasy team because he had that damn punt return for a touchdown this week. So he might keep me in it a little bit. But yeah, so at the end of the day, the Kansas City Chiefs are gonna have to build a little bit. They're gonna have to shore up their line. They're gonna have to get a freaking running back too. I mean, because Pacheco, I mean, I didn't know who he was this year. You know?
Yeah, but he still has that upside, man. He's good, man. Like I said, their running backs are still good. They're stable running backs. It's, when you don't have a line, you can't run. So,
hey, Travis Etienne is going to be available, and I know Rico Dowdle. He ain't leaving Carolina, thank God. Brees Hall. I mean, they should have went after. There was talk about them going after Brees Hall at the deadline.
Yeah, I just think they need, like we said, man. I think they need a wideouts. They need something to protect Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes is magic, but he ain't. If he got no time, I mean,
Mahomes' magic is dwindling down after an ACL injury.
Yeah, and then same thing with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had no protection either, and he lights it up. But you get hit a few times, you ain't gonna light it up anymore, and that's what's going on. So, I mean, we saw it. Like you saw it at the Super Bowl, man. Like their O line was Swiss cheese. Eagles were going in there, freaking just coming in with 4, no blitzing, and that was the beginning of it, and we all saw it. So, yeah, they're gonna have to do some O-line work, get somebody out there that is gonna scare the DBs, because if they don't have anybody out there, it doesn't matter anymore. They can come with 5 or 6, so, and just go man up on the top. So,
yeah. And speaking of man up, it's time for Carolina Panthers to man up today against Tampa. Last week we got screwed by a horrible penalty. I mean,
I don't want to hear anything about penalties. I don't want to hear anything about that. Look, no. Because nobody has been screwed over more than the Saints when it comes to stuff like this.
No, that was your own doing, though.
Oh, really?
Bounty gate.
No.
You're still paying for that.
Oh, that's what that was against the Chargers. That's what that are the Rams. That's what that was against the Rams.
Bro,
you guys, no PI. Are you serious,
bro? That was pass interference. But I don't care. You didn't stop the Minnesota Miracle, so that's your fault.
We didn't stop the Minnesota. I'll give you that, but still, come on, man.
But look, let me tell you something. That was the most horrendous call I've ever seen in my life. That call was so bad with that slide being so late that was the actual prereq of Lil Wayne's "You don't want that late text" saying I'm late text. That's how late that was. Okay, like that slide looked like Kenny Pickett playing at Pittsburgh in the ACC championship game with the fake slide.
We all know that's the way the league is now. It's going to be protect the quarterback at all costs.
If the quarterbacks are out of the fucking pocket, being a runner, there is no protection.
But again,
there should be zero. It does not matter. If they are outside the box and they are not inside the tackle box, just like intentional grounding, if they are running that ball and they choose to run that ball against that 250-pound linebacker, they choose to get hit like everybody else.
Tell that to every call that the Chiefs get for Patrick Mahomes. Then
I will tell that to every single person there is. Like, I'm a firm believer. Should a quarterback be protected inside the pocket? Absolutely. No low hits to the knees. You can't chop block. You can't hit him in the knees. They go outside that tackle box. They are no longer the quarterback. They are
I'm actually agreeing with you on this part, but not the whole protection. I don't think, like, it's football. Like, you get hit, you get hit. You signed up to get hit. I'm sorry, but
you get paid
if the league is going to where they're going to protect the quarterback, which is what they've been doing, and all you got to do is watch any game that the Chiefs have been in the past 8 years, then this is the way it's going to be. Now,
this is the way.
Now, again, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. It's the way they're going to protect the quarterback at all costs, and that's how it is now, man. We know this. We played.
Now, honestly, the Carolina Panthers.
We love it.
The Carolina Panthers should not have been in that situation at all, because, I mean, we was the favorites to win the damn game twice against the Saints, and we choked both times. We just need to start being the underdogs for every single game, and we'll be fine, I guess. The first game, November, 9th, we lost 17-7, and we was favorite by 2 touchdowns. This week we was favorite, we lost again. So, like, I guess we just need to play like the Cowboys and the Rams all year, and we'll be fine, I guess. But the NFC South comes down.
I'm going for you because I don't like the Bucs. I'm going for you today, man. I don't like the Bucs, so.
Here, let me see who I'm going for today real quick. Let's pull up my Hard Rock betting app, and let's see who I'm going for. I'll tell you, because I think I still got some bets going.
Yeah, as long as you beat the Bucs, man, I'm happy with it.
Hey, look, I'm just glad the Bears and the Eagles won last night because I picked them to win. So I got the Bengals over the Dolphins, Bills over the Browns, Cowboys over Chargers, even though they have nothing to play for. Panthers over the Bucs. I got your Saints to beat the Jets. So I swear, if you guys screw me this week, I am going to be very upset. My upset of the week. Drum roll, please. Titans over the Chiefs. Vikings over the Giants. Broncos over the Jags. Falcons over the Cardinals. Lions over the Steelers. Texans over the Raiders. Patriots over the Ravens. And Niners over the Colts.
I can see the Falcons one. I can see that upset because the Chiefs have nothing to play for. Mahomes is out. I can 100% see that happening.
The Titans are going to upset them. And that would take my $1 and turn it into $1,064.74. Perfect time right before Christmas.
Yeah.
So let's get into some games today. Obviously, we know the Panthers are playing. Hey, what about that huge, 14.5 point favorite for the Texans over the Raiders? All I want, because like I said, my fantasy quarterback is down. I have CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud, if you're listening to the show this morning, preparing for that game this afternoon, I need you to throw for about 500 yards and 6 touchdowns today on about 50 passes. That would be great. I need it. I also need the Indianapolis Colts running back, Jonathan Taylor, to show the hell back up on Monday night so that we can, really, and even Breece Hall. I need Breece Hall to do something against your people. So allow him to go for about $150 and I'll be fine. All right. My alarm goes off at about 12:45 to set my fantasy lineup for the last minute additions. We're going to look into it. But, hey, the playoffs are heating up currently in the NFC and the AFC. It is. I'm going to pull up the bracket, excuse me, after the Seahawks and everybody. So Broncos are the number 1 seed in the AFC. Seattle is the number 1 seed in the NFC, but Chicago's number 2. Right now, Carolina and Detroit are still in the hunt, and the Colts and the Ravens are still in the hunt in the AFC. Like, everything's pretty much solidifying right now, and it is it's going to get interesting. These playoffs are going to get interesting. To Saquon Barkley and
like we were talking about the Bears, like how right now they're the hot team. They seem like they're playing perfect on both sides of the ball, but
Ben Johnson is the coach of the year.
Yeah, there's no like front runner right now. Like, there's nobody you look like, I do not want to face them at all. It's like everybody's kind of in the same boat, especially if you want, like, there's like 4 or 5 teams that I can see that actually have a shot right now, that a legitimate shot. And if you put money down on any one of them, the odds should be good for you to win that. It's just, there's no front runners. It's the most exciting NFL season because, again, like, the Chiefs aren't running the show, Bills are struggling, the Lions are struggling. I mean,
yeah, the
you
Lions.
You got the Seahawks are running the NFC right now.
The Lions are going to have to win out to potentially make the playoffs.
Right. So I was saying, like, there's no like big team where you're like, yep, all right, I can see that team winning. There's a few teams where you're like, yeah, they have a legitimate shot.
If I'm reading this correctly, if the playoffs started today, Pittsburgh would be hosting Houston.
It's a crapshoot. Who wins that game?
The Chargers would be hosting Buffalo.
Again, crapshoot. Who wins that game?
That's the first round. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I forgot. I got to add the. Let me look at the whole damn bracket. I'm looking at just the email. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna pull up the actual bracket.
But yeah, like, who wins that game? Like, if it was in Buffalo, I'd say yeah, Buffalo. You put money down on Buffalo, but it's not in Buffalo. So who wins that? Like, it's one of those years, man, where it's exciting. Everybody's got a shot at it. You can look at every game that's going to be possible for the playoffs right now, and it's almost a pick 'em, if you ask me.
All right, so here's the current playoff picture. Excuse me. The wild card games, we're going to start in the AFC for the wild. If the playoffs started today, New England is hosting Houston.
Now, I put that one, I could see New England just running away with that one.
Jacksonville is hosting Buffalo.
That's a crapshoot. It's down south, man, and it's supposed to be hot this winter for us.
And Pittsburgh would be hosting the Chargers. Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh.
Yeah,
Jim.
like, it's back to old school, man. It's great.
Check this out. The NFC, the Bears would be hosting the Packers first round. That would
we saw what happened last night. I mean, you could have a replay of that to pick them.
Philadelphia would be hosting San Francisco, and Tampa would be hosting the Rams.
Yeah, the other 3 games. Like, again, no idea who wins that game. Those games.
Now, I'm picking my teams who's to win what, right? So I'm going to go through real quick with my upsets and all that for week 16. So I picked them. I picked the Panthers. I picked the Bengals. I got the Broncos winning. The Falcons are winning. The Texans are winning. I got the Lions winning. I got the Patriots over the Ravens, and then I got the Niners over the Colts. So if I move things around, the Panthers obviously winning today would put them in obviously first place. Now next week, we're just going to breeze through it real quick and just select, Broncos going to win. I think the Chargers will win. Win. Pittsburgh will win. Hey, is your Saints going to beat the Titans next week? That's a real question.
I have no idea, man. If they keep playing hot like they are, but their offense is still suspect. I mean, Tyler's doing a good job controlling it, but defensive-wise, you give me a good offense, that they're unstoppable, but defense is phenomenal right now.
Now, I went through and just made some selections for week 17. Now we're going to go to week 18. Right now, I got the Rams over the Cardinals. I got the Broncos. The Raiders will upset the Chiefs. Yeah, I said that out loud. The Eagles obviously are going to win. They're going to win. The Seahawks will win. I think the Titans would win that game. The Giants would win that game because I had to pick up Jackson Dart. Hopefully he wins big for me. Actually, no, I'm going to go Cleveland upsetting them. The Lions will upset the Bears. Your Saints, I'm picking them over the Falcons, the Bills. I'm going to go the Vikings. Panthers are going to win their division, thank God, and then the Jaguars. So I have this is how we're going to be. And the number one seed in the NFC, the way whenever I pick my games, is going to be the Rams. Then the wild card games in the NFC is Chicago at Philadelphia, San Francisco at Detroit, and Seattle at my Carolina Panthers.
Again, they're pretty much pick'ems, man. Like, I don't see anybody being head and shoulders over anybody in that.
And in the AFC, Denver's obviously the number one seed.
I mean, the only thing I could see in your little NFC playoff wild card, I hate to say it to you, man, but if that's what happens, the Sea Chickens are going to beat your Panthers.
I don't care. At least we made the playoffs. Where's your Saints? Where's the Saints? Where's the Falcons?
That's the only game that I could see where it's like a team where it's going to be heavily favored, even though they're going to you.
Hey, check these games out. So you got Denver Broncos at 15-2, the number one seed in the AFC. You got the Chargers traveling to New England. You got the Jaguars traveling to Houston. That's that divisional battle.
Yeah, you don't know.
And then you got Buffalo traveling to Pittsburgh. That's with my picks. That's ESPN's playoff machine.
That's your expert analysis. I get it.
You take it for what it's worth, bro.
No, I mean, like I said, there's only 2 games in that I see where it's like these 2 teams are going to win. Like New England will win that game, and the Seahawks will win your game. But everything else is kind of a pick 'em. It won't be the 14.5 that we have today. It'll be like maybe 3 would be what the spread is. Maybe 3.
Speaking of maybe 3, maybe Texas M would only score 3 points against Miami. Who would have thought that yesterday in the college football playoff? So let's transition into college football playoffs. And I know you have a heavy little dose of incoming knowledge to everybody, but, in what people would call an upset, number 9 Alabama over Oklahoma, 34-24. Number 10 Miami over number 7 Texas A&M, which was probably the game of the day, 10-3.
Yep. I would thought that's what the score of Alabama Oklahoma, because they came in where Alabama's our offense wasn't clicking, and Oklahoma hasn't had a good offense all year, and Oklahoma's defense is phenomenal. So that's what I thought was going to happen. And then,
crazy. Then, then it gets pretty messy at about the 3 o'clock hour. You got Ole Miss 41, Tulane 10, then number 5 Oregon 51. Could have been 151 to JMU's 34. I think they put in the freshman only team at Oregon and got 34 points for JMU. Yeah. But that sets up some pretty big matchups coming in to the semifinals. You got number 2 Ohio State taking on number 10 Miami. I think that game's in Arlington. You got Texas Tech and number 5. Let me pull it up. Sorry, I got to be able to see it real quick. I'm going to wait for it to scroll. All right, come on, keep scrolling. Texas Tech and Oregon. Excuse me, I'm stupid right now. Texas Tech is favored in that game over Oregon. And, Ohio State is definitely favored in the Miami game. And then you have the number 1 team in the land, Indiana, baby, them Hoosiers, who's a touchdown favorite over Alabama. Who would have thought you would ever say that? And then Georgia and Ole Miss renewing their SEC rivalry. Now, Mr. Brujo, I'm going to let you get on your hot topic button real quick. And, what we're going to talk about might offend some people, and we will not apologize.
Nope.
So, these non-Power 5 conferences getting in to the playoffs.
Look, man, people can say what they want about it, right? Like, yes, we got the results of yesterday. But at the end of the day, to me personally, you want to take all the controversy out of it, which they don't, because that's what brings more eyeballs. That's what brings more people talking about it. online. If you want to bring it all out, just say everybody has to be in a conference. You win your conference, you're in. No at-large bids, everyone's in. Yes, that's going to ruffle everyone's feathers because, again, we saw what happened yesterday where Ole Miss beat the hell out of Tulane, Oregon beat the hell out of JMU. But at the end of the day, like, your season matters. Right now, with they going to 12, and now they're talking about expanding it to even more, it's just going to make the season not care anymore because you had, yes, Alabama played a hell of a game against Oklahoma on Friday. They beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma, but they also lost 3 games this year.
Mm-hmm.
So your season doesn't matter at that point. It just means as long as you schedule decent teams, you play, you may lose a couple of them, you're still in. Nope, screw that. Getting to play a conference championship, win the conference championship, move on into the playoff. Otherwise, go away. Because the same thing happens. Like, no matter how many times you're going to expand it, look at NCAA, the basketball now. It's 68 teams. If your team's 69, 70, 71, 72, you're going to be pissed off that you got overlooked. You had 68 chances to get in there, but there's still so much controversy on those last 4 in and last 4 out. So from now on, just win a championship. You earned it. Get in there. Like Tulane, yeah, they got smoked, but they earned the right to be there because they were 11-1, won their conference. They were the highest rated Power 5 or Group of 5 team. Same thing with JMU. Now you can come to me about saying, "Oh well, Vanderbilt had a great season. Congratulations, you had a great season. Didn't even make a conference championship. Go away."
Nope.
You can come to me about Notre Dame. Notre Dame, sorry, bro, you lost to the 2 big teams you played to. Go away. So at least Tulane and JMU had a legit argument. They won their conference. Vanderbilt, you weren't even close to winning your conference compared to the teams that are in the playoff right now. Like, again, you got, 4 or 5 SEC teams, and I'm an SEC guy. I'm LSU. And all of a sudden, at the end of the day, going into the semifinals, you could be stuck with, out of those 4 SEC teams, 1. And it'd be the SEC champion in Georgia. Because Alabama's going to struggle against Indiana. Indiana is the most complete team out there. Ohio State is close to
Shout out Indiana, by the way.
Yeah. And Ohio State's close to being that complete team, too. Now, they can pull off the magic they pulled off last year where they lose to Michigan, just like they lost this year to Indiana, go on a huge run and just beat the hell out of everybody in the playoff. That could happen, which is probably going to happen because after what Miami did yesterday, their offense is not clicking. But then what's left after Indiana beats Alabama? You got Georgia, who will probably beat Ole Miss. There will be a lot of Ole Miss fans because it is in Sugar Bowl, which is down in New Orleans, which is not that far of a hike for Ole Miss fans. And there's a lot of Ole Miss fans because of Archie in New Orleans. So it's going to be crowded. But again, are they going to play with the same luster, or is down because the whole Lane Kiffin left us monkey off their back, and now they're going to be like, yep, we proved that we could do it without Lane and go in there soft. You never know. But again, at the end of the day, you're going to be left out of 4 SEC teams. You could be left with 1. So that was a waste of time for all of them, where you could have opened it up to other conference champions.
For starters, shout out Fernando Mendoza, Mr. Heisman Trophy winner himself. Well earned. Very happy for him. So I completely agree with that. Shout out to Kurt Cignetti, Mr. Indiana head football coach. Who would have thought we'd be sitting here saying Indiana's a football school?
Right.
Like,
yeah. Indiana's a football school, and the SEC is now a basketball conference. Who would have thought that?
And the ACC is about to be in the Group of 5.
Right?
like dead ass serious. Like, this be serious, man. Like, this is crazy to think about that. I am all for. Question. Riddle me this. How many weeks does March Madness take if you have 68 teams?
It's 4 weeks.
You play a couple games a week, right?
Yeah. Well, you play. No, it's 3 weeks because it's the first 2 rounds are in 1 week, and then the next 2 rounds are next week, and then it's like 3 to 4 weeks.
All right, so.
But you can't play you can't do like basketball where you
can't play 2 to 2.
Day off, play again, day off. Like you can't do that. Like it doesn't work that way for football.
Yeah. So if you take a single elimination football tournament,
they do it in D2 subdivision. They do it in both.
You take 64 teams, right?
The championship.
Nobody's going to argue about anything. 64 teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take 64 teams.
You say that, but they do for basketball.
It's going to take 7 weeks. You take 32, it's going to take 6 weeks. All right?
Which you have.
If you
play right after the conference games, and you go right into because that's what the championship series does. The D1-2, what used to be called the D1-2A. That's what they do. Yep. They go right after the conference championship. They go right into the playoff. And then you can play it that way. You don't have to go like it because right now what they're talking about expanding it to 16 teams.
Yeah.
Like again, that's what 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 weeks extra.
And you play
You're playing, 11 regular season games, conference championship game. That's 12. You're playing 16 games.
And you can still do it week off. You can still do the week off because that'll put you right at where the championship is now. Mm-hmm. Because they don't play the championship anymore on New Year's Day. They play it the week after.
Yep. I think
you still do that.
What they need, and I'm all for it, but what they need is the group of 5 and the power 4 need to be separate when it comes to the championships. I know people don't like hearing that.
But if you do that, you're going to end up having like last year, like a Boise State will never be there again. You'll never have a Boise State again because everybody's going to want to play. It's just like now. Like who do you know at this moment without looking it up? Who won the FCS championship last year?
No.
Why? Because no one cares. And that's what's going to happen. No one's going to care about your Boise States. No one's going to care about your Tulanes. No one's going to care about your JMUs. No one's going to go there. No one's going to watch it. And now you literally just made it super conferences, and that's it.
No, that's what it is anyway with these 20-team super conferences like the Big Ten.
Yeah, but at least we got to fight
and the SEC. Like at the end of the day, how many Big Ten teams got in? How many SEC teams got in compared to everybody else?
But that's the point. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a waste of time. Right now, it should go. That's why I'm saying it should just be conference champions and being done with it. Because you just wasted everyone's time if there's only going to be one SEC champion that makes it in, or one SEC team that makes it to the semifinal. You're going to waste everyone's time if something happens to Ohio State. You're going to
riddle me this: what happens in that situation where the ACC had those 3 teams that had the 3-way tie, but only 2 of them can play for the championship?
Yeah.
How does that get fixed?
Hey, it doesn't matter. Duke's in. At that point, Duke's in. Duke wins the ACC
Duke won. Yes, they won, but
and Duke's in.
Virginia and Miami, they all 3 didn't play each other, but they all had the same record in the same. Like I think college football needs to fix their damn landscape. Every conference should have divisions, just like
it used to go back to the way the SEC used to be, where there was the East and West, and you played everybody.
Well, hell, even the Pac-12 had the North and the South.
Yep.
I mean, the Big 12 had the same thing.
Yep. That's what it needs to be.
It needs to go back to that, to where, hey, you got to play 8 games, 9 games, whatever it is. If you got 7 teams in your thing, you got 3 here and 3, or you got 6 here and 3 over there. And the next year you got 6 here and the other 3 that you didn't play. I think that would be a good thing for college football.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that because they love the controversy. Because
the money,
and it brings money. That's why they do it. The reason why it took so long for them to get to the playoff the way it is now is because they couldn't figure out how to do it with the bowl games because they were making so much revenue off the bowl games. But then they figured out how to do it, which, don't get me wrong, I love this first round being at the school. That is awesome. Like Ole Miss yesterday, as much as I was pulling for Tulane, Ole Miss yesterday was phenomenal. to watch the way they had the striped stadium with red and blue all the way around. Like, that was amazing. And it's like that every year, like Ohio State, Tennessee last year, with Tennessee going up to Ohio State. That was to the shoot. That was awesome. I love that fact.
So this year, the SEC had 5 teams out of 12. The Big Ten had 3. The Big 12, ACC, American, and Sun Belt all had 1.
Right. But again, like that, yes, Ole Miss beat the hell out of Tulane, but Ole Miss shouldn't be there.
So
I'm saying
8
right now,
out of 12. 8 out of 12 was SEC or Big Ten.
Yeah, and that like it makes no sense to me. I mean, it makes sense of why they do it.
66% of the
because they're going to go, oh, the best team should be in. Well, the best team wasn't the best team in their conference. Why are they in there?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with, like, I've said it years ago, a long time ago, that if you don't win your conference, how in the hell can you win a national championship? To me, that's the way I look at it, because I think it always should be a step up. You win this, you move to this. You win this, you move to that. I get what everybody's saying. Well, that's not the best teams, and that doesn't mean anything to me anymore. The conference games mean absolutely nothing now. Like, there's no point. Like, yay, Georgia beat who they beat what was it, Alabama? Yeah, they beat Alabama in the SEC championship game. Big deal. If Georgia doesn't win a national championship, no one's going to remember that Georgia beat Alabama in the SEC championship game to make it to the playoffs. If Alabama goes on to win the national championship, no one's really going to believe that no one's going to think that about Georgia beating them in the SEC championship game. Just like when back in, 2011 or 12, one of those years, when LSU beat Alabama in the season, LSU won the SEC championship game, LSU lost to Alabama in the national championship game. No one remembers that year as LSU winning the SEC championship game. So you just made, and this was way back in 2011, you made the conference championship pointless. Why even have it if you're not going to reward that?
Crazy thing is,
Duke wins ACC. Duke's not even in it, but Miami is. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
The championship game means absolutely nothing now. Why have it? Why?
And all caring about rankings. Oklahoma is 0-5 in the college football playoffs all time. Yep. That's crazy, including the loss yesterday. You can guess who has the best total number of wins, and you can guess who that is.
Alabama, and then Georgia, and then Ohio State.
Nope. Alabama with 9 wins, Ohio State 7, Clemson with 6, Georgia with 5.
I forgot about
that could change a little bit this year. It's crazy to think about, like, just looking at these teams overall, like, in there. And this is from the collegefootballplayoff.com website. So I'm not speaking anything but factual information. Alabama clearly just got their 10th win yesterday, all time. Clemson's not in there. That's crazy to hear Clemson not in there. And they was in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Clemson was in the first 6.
Yep.
And Dabo needs to adjust. That's all I'm going to say.
I think Dabo just needs to leave. He needs to go somewhere because he's just too comfortable. Like, that's how I feel about some of these coaches sometimes when they're there for a long period of time. Like, it's going on with Tomlin up in Pittsburgh right now. You get so comfortable, you get so relaxed that sometimes you don't fight as much, and you need a new birth. Like, I think Franklin's going to do amazing things at Virginia Tech because it's somewhere new for him now, and he's rejuvenated. He's got to go out there and prove himself. And I think that's what Dabo needs, because Dabo is a phenomenal coach. Look, 6 years in the college football playoff when it started. And I think he just needs to rebirth. Like, I'm not saying Michigan's the right spot for him because he's a Southern guy. But if Kalen DeBoer leaves to go to Michigan, which is what a lot of people are saying, if he leaves Alabama to go to Michigan,
Dabo would be going to Alabama.
Would go to Alabama. I think Dabo to Alabama would be perfect fit for both of them.
I would be keen to purchase an Alabama pullover if that happened. I like Dabo. Yeah. I know you would. I know you wouldn't wear one.
I wouldn't, but I think that, and that's me putting my bias aside. I think Dabo would be a great coach for Alabama because that's his alma mater. It's where you started as a student assistant.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would be beautiful there.
And speaking of comfortable, that's something neither one of us get over the winter break, because we're going to hop into our topic right now, ladies and gentlemen. What happens and what goes into it whenever college bowl games decide to come to town? Mr. Boudreaux, you have more experience in this than I do, so you're going to lead the way. I've only had to deal with it 1.5 times. The half is this week. But, there's a lot that goes into college bowl games that people don't see is, where do they practice? Most of the time they practice at the end of World Drive. So, Boudreaux, when high schools host college football, why high schools are selected, what goes into the planning, the school selection, how does it impact your school, your student athletes in your community, and what are some of the benefits? So let's jump right into it. In your humble opinion, why are high schools used as bowl week practice sites?
Well, it's because we have the facilities there for them. There's a locker room, there's a field, there's a weight room, there's a gym if they need to go inside. And then sometimes it's because it's there for them to use. Especially when during the breaks like we're in right now, where there's no one on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy for them to come in, get what they need done, and then they take off. We're going to be hosting a team, and they come in right after they're selected. They come in the next week, so that Sunday they get selected to whatever bowl they're going to. Then the next week they come and do a walkthrough of the facilities, and then they ask if we can do this or if we can do that. And most of the time it's easy stuff where it's either, can you move 50 chairs into this room because we want to have meetings in this, or we want to watch film in this room? Can you get me an office for the head coach because he likes to have an office before and after practice to go to? The locker rooms, can you make sure like they're open and available for us to use the actual lockers? And then they look at the weight room, like, hey, do you have enough weights? Do we need to bring weights?
Yeah, you do, because your weight rooms are 18 times the size of ours, friend.
Yeah. So, but no, like they usually, and then they'll look at the practice field, and the bowl committee or the people who run the bowl, they usually come out and they'll take care of the facilities for you, make sure it meets the standards of whatever team's coming in, especially like the practice field and the field that they're going to use. And then like everything else is just kind of easy stuff for them. And then once they leave, they give you a list of things that they hope that you can accomplish. And then you just tell them if you can or can't, and then you get it knocked out. Like for us, it's our hot water heater always seems to reset itself. So we just make sure that it's running the day we get off. I'll be going there all week next week, just to make sure everything's in tip top shape for them. And then when they come in, everything, you just open up the school for them and let them go. I mean, that's the reason why. It's just the reason why, to answer the question, the reason why is because it's all the facilities are there. They have everything they need at the high school. They may use the local college, but usually they like to go to high school because A, it's cheaper to rent, and B, it's to give back to the community. Like the bowl game is the one that gives back to the community. And
it's a little bit less accessible in some places. So my experience when I hosted a bowl team, it was the reason you and I met, actually. We hosted Purdue up there in the Windy City. And that was a fun experience because they was going through the coaching change at the time. Braun had went to Louisville. They was hiring Coach Ryan Walters, but it had Graham Harrell there. They had Drew Brees there. They had all these guys there. I was like, wow, only I can make Drew Brees look tall when I take a picture with him. But, but it was fun. Like they came and they, again, the selection people called me. We hung out, we went on the tour, and at the time we had that off-campus stadium, and they liked that because it could be locked up and secured. But the thing is, secured meant security. Like we had our deputies there 24 hours a day. They brought their huge 18-wheeler with all their stuff. We did, they liked it. We had turf field, we had the weight room. They had to drive down to the weight room, but they would start there and then come up. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun to do, and I enjoyed it personally. With the planning, the coordination with the school districts and the bowl committees. I mean, that was always fun, sitting there, just listening and talking and being able to help them. Because I told them, I was like, hey, I just want to help you in any way I can. so being a part of that is always fun. So what are like some of the, you touched on a little bit, what are some of the conversation that goes into it? Obviously they have to call you and set a meeting and all that, but what are some other things that goes into it?
Yeah, it's just the conversations like, can you move both the ice tubs down to the field? Yep, no problem.
Yeah.
And basically, like 99% of the things they ask for, it's easy. You can pretty much do by yourself. Move an ice tub to the field. Um, making sure, like I said, make sure all the lockers are clean. Like when we walk through, they use the entire both sides of our locker rooms, the boys and the girls side. Usually they put like the players on the boys side and they put the coaches on the girls side. And then it's just conversating like when are you bringing your gear? Then you go with like the bowl site and you ask them, you're like, hey man, they want an ice trailer. Okay, so they'll rent out the ice trailer for them, and when is that going to get delivered? They want 10 golf carts, and they'll rent out the golf carts when that's going to get delivered. So it's just coordinating the times that things are going to be delivered. Like this year, I'm going to have to work on Christmas because that's when the team is delivering their truck. So
yeah, that's what happened to me.
So I mean, it is what it is. Like, but like I said, it's great for the school because like I have a picture of when LSU was there when Jaden Daniels on the field with our field, like the markings in the field seen at a celebration. So now I have a picture that has a Heisman Trophy winner on my field. So it was kind of like
that's what I like.
We were posting it and we were saying like, hey, look, Heisman Trophy winners come through celebration, So it's just
I like that gimmick infringement right there, buddy.
Yeah, right. So I mean, there's a couple of things that we do, but it's cool because like we get all these. I get to bring my head football coach out, and he gets to run the thing with me, and get to learn like from these major because it's usually the SEC team that'll come to us. So now you get to learn from a major college program how they run their practices and what he can take from that and use it for his practices. So it's another learning experience. Like that's how it directly affects the kids on the team because now he's learning what they're doing and putting it into play with it for them. And then again, they rent out the facility, so the money we make from that goes directly back into us getting new turf when we need it. So there's a bunch of things that go into it. And then sometimes they're like, "Hey, I see you need this equipment. I got you," and they'll just leave stuff behind for us if they don't want to take it back with them.
So yeah, my experience that was a fun part right there. We had to find some practice pants for them after they left, and then when I found them, I called him and said, "Hey, you want them back?" He said, "Nope, they're yours."
Yeah, that's what like they'll leave because if sometimes they'll come back with more stuff and they're like, "Hey, we don't need this. You keep it." So there's times where we'll get like LSU left behind a whole bunch of pallets of Powerade for us. Alabama left like pallets of tape for the athletic trainer. But then like practice gear, they'll leave that behind for us. They'll leave like if they don't want to take back some tackling dummies, they might leave that behind. Like there's a bunch of stuff that they're like, we're not taking this back. You keep it. Okay.
It's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Obviously I like, my current principal is very what he calls an open door policy. He likes people being able to see the facilities and see the school. We're not hosting a team per se this year, but I do have to paint college lines on my field for a band. So I mean, a band is a band. I mean, if we're looking at the whole community, I mean, just like I tell everybody, the cheerleaders, the dance team, the players, the band's out there getting soaking wet in the pouring down rain with us too. So. But it's good for our kids to see what it takes to be in a college band.
Well, because some people may not know, to go what you're saying is that, yes, the college hash marks are narrower than the high school hash marks. So they have to come in and paint that.
I have to paint that. But, when I gave them the bill for the painting, they're like, that's it? Okay.
Yeah.
I just threw it. I literally threw a number off the top of my head. I was like, it's this much. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't. The money's no object to them. They're like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, got to paint a full college field on my game field, but whatever. We'll figure that out. I don't care. But I mean, again, for me, like I don't have to work it this year, thank God, because my band director is going to be working it and all that. But it's good for those kids to see the colleges and things like that. But at the end of the day, I think they use high school facilities because if you look at a high school facility now in 2025, it's locked all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
So they can go in and lock it and nobody can come in behind them. Nobody can be, sitting there waiting and watching, especially if you got like a stadium that's out in the cut that nobody can see. If your stadium was where your baseball stadium was,
yeah, it'd be perfect.
You would have the perfect site ever.
Yep.
For it, like if you could just flip the duck, you'll be fine. I almost knocked off my mic.
Yeah, flip the duck would be fine.
I think my new stadium is pretty good because it's surrounded by woods, so you can't see into it. But because we do have a baseball complex there, I mean, you can drive right by it. So I was like, give and take. It is what it is. I don't control that. But, yeah, I think they like high school. I mean, but it also gives back. I mean, when I was hosting Purdue, I had to give them a list of names who was authorized to be there. They wouldn't let the kids come. Okay, I get it. Recruiting season, dead period. They don't want to have a kid out there. They don't want a kid out there with a damn camera saying, "Oh, I'm hanging out with Purdue's head football coach." Yeah, whatever. So I had to give them a list. I gave, obviously me, my assistant ADs, my principal, my athletic trainer, stuff like that, people that they can come see. But my head football coach, actually, I gave the whole entire coaching staff, and only like me and like 4 people showed up the whole time. But I mean, I was fine because I was just walking around chilling. It was like, "Oh, you was a very good host." I was like, "Ah, man, it was just." That's the whole part of it. We want to be very good hosts.
Yeah, that's literally what we do, man. We show up about an hour before their pre-group shows up, their equipment managers show up, and we open everything up for them, unlock it, prop it open. They can just walk in as soon as they get there, and then they just tell me, like, I'll get with whoever's head person in charge, and I'm like, "Hey, how many buses you got coming?" And they'll tell me, and I'll send whoever's working with me to the gate. And as soon as that last bus comes in, and the last cop comes through, lock the gate, we're done. Move on.
It was fun because, getting to talk to him a lot. Like, I was dealing with the equipment manager mainly, but I did get to hang out with Graham Harrell a lot. That was pretty fun. Mr. Texas Tech himself. And, he told me he never ever bought food there. I was like, I wouldn't either if I was you.
Right.
But I would open the weight room up for them so they can get a workout in and then make sure they get back to the stadium. Like, that was pretty cool. And, but I didn't tell them. I was like, "Oh man, these locker rooms are always clean, when we come through. Appreciate that." So this was my experience, my first time doing it. I didn't know anything. I didn't assign a custodian.
Oh yeah.
So my butt was cleaning out the locker room, making sure it was clean.
We used to do that. We used to have to do it, and then finally they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna assign some custodians," and I'm like, "Oh, it makes my life easy now. I'll just open up the door and."
I didn't know. I was like, I don't know. I don't even think we charge them, if you want to know the truth. Like, I think they only paid for an hour a day.
Oh no, we charge.
Well, because at the time we shared that stadium, so yeah. Hook us up, we'll hook you up. But I don't care, man. It was fun. It was just fun being around them. They were all nice. I didn't really bug them or go crazy or anything. Just sitting back in the back, chilling with them, sitting on the golf cart. Hey, y'all gotta need me. I literally gave the 2 of the equipment GAs, like they were actually cool as crap, those kids. And I gave them a walk in, like, "Hey, I'll be over here in the corner because I want to stay out of your way. If y'all need me, just call me. I'll drive around, I'll walk around, do whatever." There was no real question. They was like, "Hey, can you open up the weight room?" And then they have to everybody haul on the buses, drive to the weight room, but it was a fun experience, man. It's always fun. And obviously, how does it impact your school, your students, and your community? That 18-wheeler parked down in front of your school, such and such football team or whatever, that's always good to see. It's always good.
Yeah, no, it's a great and then it's great too because then everybody's always asking who's coming this year, and I'm like,
whoever the 4th place team is in the SEC that won't make the damn playoff.
I'll tell you when the bowl makes their selection, and once they make the selection, then I'll know. But no, it makes, because everybody wants to know who's going to be there. Everyone, like I said, for the coach, for me personally, I always, because we've also hosted NBA teams when they're playing the Magic. We've hosted Disney does that big college basketball tournament during Thanksgiving break. We'll host college teams in there, and I always give it to the head coach. That's their Like that's part of their my thank you for being the head coach. You get to work this if you want to. And of course, like the district will pay them to come in and work it, to open up the gates and stuff like that, be the site administrator. But it's also a way for them to learn and then use what they learn from major big time colleges for the kids. Because at the end of the day, everything's for the kids. Whatever we do, I want to make sure it goes back to it's reciprocated with the kids. And so, yeah, kids may not be able to come on because, like, for me, it's only 3 people allowed on the campus. I lock everything up. I don't let anybody else in there unless it's the principal, myself, and who's working with me. The APs can't even come on. The freaking deputies can't come on. I'm not letting anybody else on campus except for us 3. And literally, what you talk about where you post up, I go right to the front gate, park my cart right by the front gate, and the only ones that are coming in are the people that the school tells me is coming in, or if they're the Orlando cops that are driving them around.
Literally.
That's it.
So the Orlando cops, so funny stories, they were the ones that would post up by the gates, and they knew who could come in and who couldn't come in. So like, because at the time in the Windy City, it was considered a public park. And like they had to handle some business because some people were like, hey, it's a public park. He's like, not today, it ain't. Later, Junior.
No, like last year we had South Carolina and Lenore Sellers had an NIL deal because everybody from the Cheez-It Bowl gets an NIL deal. Like one person from each team gets an NIL deal, and he had it, and no one knew this was happening. The school didn't even know what's happening. All of a sudden, this truck comes in, tries to come in, and it's got the big TV on the back with Lenore's on there, and I'm like, yet no, this isn't happening. And then finally somebody got in touch with somebody with the school, and they're like, yeah, you can let them in. I was like, okay, then now they can come in.
Better give me some Cheez-Its then, bro. That's all I know.
I want the chain, man, that they get. That nice little Cheez-It chain.
Hey, we get Mike's 3D printing to make us one.
There we go. I like that.
I mean, I got my chains right above us, right there still.
Yeah, mine's
hanging on my TV. So, yeah, I still got to do some decorating in here, as you can tell. There's very blank space behind me. This is my Grand Theft Auto room, by the way. Nice. This is where I play Grand Theft Auto. And if you look over on like my left shoulder right here, that's the dog window. That's where he lays and looks at the world go by. But yeah, so I mean, it's always good to host the schools. It's always good to be a part of that. Obviously, you get the free tickets, which I think could be better seats. But not going to complain.
Hey,
I got like 30 free tickets. I was like, wow. But I do thank the wonderful lady from the Citrus Bowl, Miss Susan, because she's the reason we met. So Miss Susan is directly responsible for hanging with the Chads. That's great time, and hey, it is what it is. Too bad we're not in the same school district no more. Sad day. It is it's a totally different world now. But shout out TK, shout out Tiffany King. I miss her. She's the homie. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, at the end of the day, hosting the schools is always fun because it does give back to our kids, man. And when we get to give back to our kids, that makes everything worthwhile. I mean, that right there makes up for them long days, them long nights, short amount of sleep, driving 45 minutes still to work every day, an hour and 15 on the way home now.
Oh, I know.
Hey, but we live closer now. We
do.
Like 15 minutes away. So that's good. And but yeah, so Mr. Boudreaux, any final thoughts for the world going into the wonderful week of Christmas?
No, man, just remember what we always say when we end the show. Just be better every day. Try to get that 1% better, because this is the time to look back and reflect on the year you've had and see where you could make those changes. And if there's always a way we can be better. So just continue to do that.
Hey, 1% better today guarantees you're going to be better tomorrow. And, it has been a long 2025. That is for sure. A lot of changes, a lot of things have happened, and we're going to go out swinging. We're not going to give you a long hiatus like we did, but we're back things are going back to normal. Things are back where they're supposed to be. I'm Chad Springer, joined as always by the greatest tag team partner of all time, Mr. Chad Boudreaux. Go Panthers, screw the Saints and the Falcons and the Bucks. That's all I'm saying. Who day? How about that? Go Bengals. Hey, thank you for listening to the show. Hopefully you learned something today. Hopefully if you didn't, who cares? We'll see you later, ladies and gentlemen. Deuces.